Diecast. It's a lost art. At least it was until the mid-2000s when they decided to bring it back with the Titanium series. And I like talking about obscure robot boys from time to time. You know, I like talking about more obscure toys. And I haven't talked about Titaniums yet, because the only Titanium I had before this guy was Soundwave. And let's just say, I haven't been in the mood to talk about that one anytime lately. So I went to the Cincinnati toy show in Sharonville a few weeks ago, and I actually found this guy. And I was very happy to find him, because he's one I've been eyeing for a while, because it's one of the only toys of the Fallen that we've ever gotten that is not the Revenge of the Fallen version. Because the Fallen's cool, you know, he's a Fallen Prime, he was Megatronus. And yeah, it's cool to have this, you know, awesome looking knight helmet, flamey version of him. And this is based on his look from War Within. And yeah, it's a titanium figure, which means it is heavy, it is made of metal, it is a die-cast figure. Also came with a stand. You also got this. Yeah, it's plastic. It has a little logo. This is the Fallen. You're never going to see that again. But yeah, how big is he? He's pretty big. He's, you know, he's actually kind of midway between a Deluxe and a Voyager. So, I mean, he's definitely pretty big. Like, that's a modern Deluxe you can see right there. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say when it comes to size, I'd definitely place him in between. He's not one or the other. Yeah, he's definitely really heavy. He's a chonky boy. He's definitely pretty chonk. And yeah, a lot of him is metal. I think his arms, for the most part, are metal. His legs are mostly metal. His thighs, I think, are plastic. His torso is metal. I think his back might have some metal in it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, he's very metally, because this whole gimmick was that these figures were mostly made of die-cast. They were called titaniums. And yeah, they were hit or miss. And this guy kind of reflects that, because he both has some really cool parts to him and some things that are really crappy. So yeah, let's just look at how he looks. So he looks badass. His head is absolutely awesome. He looks so monstrous. He's got like that Optimus Prime look, but it's also very demonic. He's got like the night slits in the faceplate there. He's got the flames kind of, you know, simulated coming out from his back. And he's got the big old pylons on the back too. He's got the little orange ventings all along his body. He's got these big old like arm cannons that kind of give you some Megatron vibes, but it's on both arms. So that's definitely a plus. Yeah, he's really cool looking. As you can see, though, he's not the most solid. Like these, they don't click in to his back. That was definitely a missed opportunity in the engineering department. Definitely could have clicked those in. But overall, man, he looks really cool. Other than that, he is fairly solid. Like you can see his articulation. He's got more of like a swivel at the head. He's got swivels at the shoulders, out at the shoulder. He's got, I don't think he has a bicep swivel. I don't think so. He's got a cut there, but I think it's just a sculpt. Yeah, no bicep swivel. They do get an elbow bend. You do get a forearm rotation. You do get a hand rotation, which, by the way, his hands, because they are kind of like totally facing forward in the alt mode, they're kind of shapeless to kind of have a compromise in that department. You can have him hold his weapons, but it is not the standard system that we're used to nowadays. His weapons won't really fit in anyone else's hands or anything. He's got a waist swivel, which is nice and clicky. His legs move forward. They move out. He has a swivel above the knee. He's got a very impressive knee bend. Yeah, that's it. That is literally his entire knee bend. I guess they wanted to make sure he would stand solid, so they did not give him much of a cutout for his leg. So yeah, that's literally all you can bend his knee. You can make him slightly walk, which still looks kind of cool and menacing, but it's still very disappointing. And like, because of him being die-cast, you can't really work with it too much. I mean, I guess you can move his leg back, but then the clicks are really big. You can kind of have him looking like he's stepping forward a little bit. Maybe rotate a leg, but then because he's die-cast and has the clicks and the you know, wibble between each click, you know, just kind of give him a wider stance than you even wanted. So yeah, he's a little hard to work with in the articulation department. And his ankles, you know, they do go down for transformation, but I wouldn't even consider that a point of articulation. It's basically useless. So yeah, I mean, for his articulation and his posability, like, on paper it's there, but the posability is definitely lacking because it's a little awkward. He's a little awkward to work with. So yeah, that way you can definitely see what works, which is basically from the waist up, and what doesn't, which is the waist down. That's kind of how a lot of these titaniums went. They were, you know, definitely not the best. I'd love to get the War Within Optimus at some point too to go with this. There's a lot of others I wouldn't mind, like the RID Optimus. I've heard that's actually one of the best. Ultra Magnus, that was actually one of the only options for a redone G1 Ultra Magnus for the longest time. So that's kind of one I wouldn't mind getting someday. Yeah, the Soundwave is utter trash. Don't get it. But yeah, let's transform him. Let's do it. So I think he can actually keep the guns in his arms. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I've only done it once. Yeah, I think you put the arms like this. And I think you can keep the guns there, but because of the hollow part, I would probably switch which arm has which gun. Because see, the way I had it, you know, it's the solid part facing out. But in the vehicle mode, it'll be the hollow part facing up. So you might just want to switch those. And then, it's actually a really simple transformation. I'm just kind of brain farting right now. This moves down and out. And then his legs, I want to say, do this. I want to say his legs do this. And then his body, his head does that. Might want to actually rotate his head. And then it does that. And then his arms do this. And hey, look, you're already almost there. So yeah, his transformation is actually very similar to his Robots in Disguise counterpart. It's actually very similar to the... well, actually, I think you rotate the waist. Oop! Okay. I think you rotate the waist. And then you move this up. I think, question mark, I think I'm getting this. Yeah, because then that plugs in. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of a similar design with the whole tank that's kind of awkward. Yeah, those panels is they kind of floop. These are the weakest part of the figure by far. They're on these really weak little hinge panels. They don't tab in any, you know, workable way in either mode. It's just kind of easily the worst part. But I think we're done already. There we go. Here's the Fallen in his tank mode. And yeah, it's a tank, sorta. I mean, you can rotate the barrel. You can move these up and down. You can't really move everything. These, it just kind of looks like a little thing. He's got guns in the front. These things flip, because they literally have no... You can see there's no tab. There's no slot. They rest there. That is not good. But yeah, it's an interesting figure, man. It's definitely interesting. I dig it. It's not perfect by any means at all, but I dig it. It's very heavy. It's probably got to be at least a pound or over a pound, which for a little figure like this is a lot. So there we go. There is Titanium the Fallen. So yeah, if you want a Fallen for like your classics collection, which is kind of what I got this guy for, this is one of your only options right now. Unless you want to get Revenge of the Fallen Mind Wipe and just kind of be like, yeah, that's the Fallen. Because he could totally do that and it would 100% work. But yeah, man, it's a figure. It's a titanium. And I like it. You know, I like it. I like it for what it is. But what it is a titanium transformer. And that's our reality. These things, yeah, they didn't succeed too well for a reason. You know, some of these were absolute total stinkers. Like the G.I. Joe crossover Megatron one. Oh my gosh. That is notorious for being literally one of the worst Transformer toys of all time. So yeah, this line's definitely given us some of the worst. It has not given us any of the best. It's just given us some of the worst and some of the ones that are like, it's interesting. So yeah, if you're curious about the titanium line, I'd say you're not going wrong with the Fallen. You could probably get something a little better. You could definitely go way worse though. Alrighty, guys, so there we go. Thank you so much for watching my review. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Do all that stuff. I haven't said that in a while, so I need to push that. Hit that notification bell. Whoa! But also, Patreon. Shout out to the patrons of Patreon. You guys are so awesome. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. I really do. Alrighty, guys, there we go. I'll see ya in the next one.